see what happens. You know, Dale Jr. and his team, they had radio issues in practice, and they were working on that after, and they obviously didn't get it fixed.
And getting ready for the restart now.
And you're talking about a huge loss of track position. I mean, the leader is going to be coming quick to try to lap him. They got to work through themselves. He and Cole Custer both. They got to work themselves through traffic.
Pretty exciting early, Rick.
Yeah, that's right.
Action.
So we have Allgaier now, who is going to restart on the outside with Chandler Smith on the inside as we get ready for the green flag.
Go, 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 rolling.
Allgaier, a great jump there. Anthony Alfredo in that number 5, the orange with the number 5 on it. That is a great qualifying effort for him. He's one of those drivers that he could shock the field if he's able to get to victory lane here at Bristol.
Battle for the leads heating up at the front of the field. On the bottom of the screen, the 16 of Allgaier had a little bit of trouble for a couple laps, stacking these cars 2 by 2.
Allmendinger.
I'm sorry, Allmendinger.
He and Brandon Jones had contact over in 2.
We see Allgaier still out front, but Chandler Smith putting the bumper to the back of the 7.
It'd be interesting if Allgaier just has enough. He'll run the middle of the racetrack, kind of let the 81 have the bottom. If Smith's in such a hurry, he'll almost let him go. He knows there's 73 to go in this stage. So much experience behind the wheel of the 7.
Both of these drivers are locked into the playoffs. This could be the most fun race you'll ever run. Knowing you're in the playoffs and you're at Bristol, no pressure.
We just saw how low Chandler Smith went through the turn there. That is right on the bumper. This Toyota Cam that we're looking off of. And we're seeing Stephen Parsons in the 45 rolling off of pit road. He is joining the field. There's Stephen.
I love that bumper cam. It kind of shows you just how much load goes through these rear tires. I mean, watch these tires right here. They almost, move back and forth on the wheel. Just so much is being asked of them in the high banks. Listening to the engine feel. Problem is, where do you go, Jeff, right? I mean, it's like stuck in rush hour traffic. You got to make a lane. All the 00 is going to look 3 wide.
Yeah, that's Shane Van Gisbergen in the 97, and he is learning short tracks. We heard Marty talk about it in the pregame or the pre-race, and he's trying to figure out these short tracks, and he has seen nothing like Bristol before, but a 3-time winner already in the Xfinity Series, all on road courses.
You're talking about nowhere to go. Well, look what happened right here. The 00, Cole Custer, cleared those 2 guys, and Dale Jr. is stuck behind them. The 31 of Parker Retzloff trying to get by him. And that's what's so frustrating about Bristol, and that's why you run out of patience. Feel like you got to make something happen.
Blaine Perkins in the 29 just in front of Dale Jr. in that 88. A little bit of distance now between the 7 and the 81, almost a car length. Marty, is the radio any better for Dale Jr.?
Simple answer is nope, Rick. They are only in 33rd. They had to go to the back of the field. So, Steve, they've got a backup helmet out here for Dale Earnhardt Jr., so the communication no better to him. I can hear TJ Majors, his spotter, fine. Jr. cannot hear him off of turn 4 quite so well. He can't hear him in the other parts of the racetrack. So the backup helmet, Steve, help me understand what that process is going to be like to change that helmet for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's clearly buckled in inside the car. There's got to be a lot of work to put that backup helmet on.
Well, it's hard to put the helmet on. What makes it even more of a challenge for Dale Jr., he's one of the few drivers that puts his helmet on outside of the race car. Most drivers climb in, put the helmet on inside of the race cars. We ride on board with the helmets cam, give it a good shot, looking back at Dale doing work. So they're used to putting the helmet on, hooking the Hans straps, plugging the radio in. It's part of their process. For Dale Jr., all of that happens outside of the race car, then he climbs in. I loved it as a crew chief when he was my driver, because you can make practice changes. He can get in and out of the car very quickly, but making this change on a pit stop becomes a little bit more foreign to the driver of the 88.
There's action all over the racetrack. You see Dale Jr.'s hands working diligently there. You had mentioned Allmendinger. Here's A.J. Allmendinger in the 16 on the outside of the 9 of Brandon Jones.
And this is earlier This is Steve talked about the 16 stacking everyone up. That was why. And Truex in the 20 car, Sieg in the 39, a little contact. And then look at this mess. SVG trying to learn, you said it, learn short track racing. Cole Custer got no patience, got to go.
Can you have patience at Bristol?
Not when you're running in the 30s and the leaders are coming.
And we're talking about leaders. Those are the two on top of the screen, the 7 of Allgaier and the 81 of Chandler Smith. Allgaier won here a year ago. Had his dad and Dale Jr. riding along with him as they went to victory lane.
So now watch what's happening. This is the first and second place car. Now they're catching the slower cars already. Lap 28. And remember, this is only, we had a caution. So they're already to the back of the field. In so many races here at Bristol, we see the lead change happen because the leader catches a flat car. He doesn't pick the right lane, and the guy in second does and takes the lead.
Things will be heating up now for Allgaier as he has caught that lap traffic. Chandler Smith right behind him. This fall, the next generation of WWE superstars will have a new home.
Bristol Motor Speedway. This track looks, both ends look very much the same. Little differences in them. This is the start-finish line here. Jeffrey right to the bottom.
Driving away from what's behind. You can wrap the bottom a little tighter, 1 and 2. I still think you have time to gain.
It's great information. Nick Payne, the spotter. Dylan.
And this is another part-time Earnhardt in the field. Jeffrey just limited starts, and we go yellow.
Caution is out, and the 31 of Parker Retzlaff is involved, as well as the 32, Austin Green. And look at this, race leader Allgaier has the back of the car torn off.
This is the fear at Bristol. Doesn't even matter if you're leading the race. No one is safe.
Steve, will they make him come and pull that off on pit road?
You can't. You have to have it. So they're going to have to reattach it. Let's see exactly what happens. Hard to tell. Oh, the 32's top, sparking. Obviously has some sort of issue, either a tire down or another issue. We saw the sparks. The 7, there you go, into the wall, out of control, catches the rear bumper of the 7.
Yeah, that's Bristol, right? I mean, there was absolutely nothing Allgaier could do right there. Clearly some sort of mechanical issue with Austin Green. Parker Retzlaff caught up in it.
So repairs are going to have to be made to the 7. This is a great shot right here from Chandler Smith. Rarely are you thankful you're in second and not the lead, but at that time Chandler was happy he was about a second behind the 7. So yes, Rick, the 7 will have to come to pit road and put some repairs together. NASCAR requires certain parts of the body be attached because of aerodynamics in certain situations. We'll see what their opinion is on this rear tail, but it's a pretty heavy damage. That right rear quarter panel, I know it's a short track, but you go very fast here. Aerodynamics matters, and that right rear quarter panel is like a crutch. When you go through the corner, you lean on that air like you would a crutch, and with it damaged, this car is not going to handle the same.
That was a break for Dale Earnhardt Jr., you know, trying to work himself up, for having a caution. He's gotten himself up to 24th. Now he can kind of reset. Cole Custer, he was back there with him. He's gotten himself to 17th.
And the Whelen caution lights are on. And Whelen, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders. It is the second time the caution has come out here. And there you see drivers being assisted by the AMR safety crew. They'll have to go to the infield care center, be checked out. We'll give you an update on them. Second caution comes out. This one grabs the 7.
down pit road, and they will not pit at the end of the stage coming up in 25 laps, and they'll run all the way to the end of stage 2. Jim Pullman told his driver, Justin Allgaier, obviously to come down. They're going to cut this bumper cover off. Allgaier said the damage is fine. We should be able to do this in one stop. He said it did not affect the spoiler at all, so this might not be a big disadvantage for the 7, Kim.
Well, Marty, Harrison Burton recently announced his return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series next season for AM Racing, and this team has had so much growth after the last 2 seasons. What can you bring to the team to continue that?
Yeah, I think just take it to the next level, right? They've been trying to strive and get better year in, year out. You know, I've been really fortunate and been to a lot of really good teams and kind of see how they run, right? So I can bring that experience and then just myself as a race car driver and try and build this into a winning program. I think it can be that. There has to be a lot of work to do, but I think we can win races next year, so that's all you can ask for.
And before 2025 starts, you got to finish this season, and that includes the playoffs. Tomorrow is an elimination race. What can you and this team do here tomorrow?
Yeah, we have, you know, a lot of opportunity in front of us. We had a really fast car in practice, and just missing qualifying really just got way too loose. And it's a finicky racetrack, so when you miss it a little bit, you miss it a lot. And we've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, but no better place than to walk off with a win would be Bristol. So it's our main goal is to try and get up front and get stage points as early as we can and just see what we have to do. And if we have to win, go try and do that. Excited
to see what Harrison and the Wood Brothers Racing team can do on the Cup side of things tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow you see what's happening on USA at 7 o'clock, countdown to green, 7:30. It is that final race of the round of 16, which Harrison is a part of after his huge win at Daytona. It was Wood Brothers' 100th win. So a part of the playoffs, and it's the last race to determine who the 4 drivers will be eliminated as we go to the next round.
I'm excited to hear that news for Harrison. We knew that he wasn't coming back to Wood Brothers. We didn't know where he would land, and I think he said it the best. He could go help a smaller Xfinity program like AM Racing build. We've seen some of the biggest stars. Dale Jarrett comes to mind, who started at the Cup level, had to go back down to come back up. Mark Martin, some of the biggest have done it. So young, tons of years ahead of him, and this series can continue to teach him a lot. And I think it'll teach him a lot about being a race car driver as well, trying to figure out how you build an organization like that. Let's listen in. Helmet looks secure. I love that the gloves are back on. Let's take a listen on the 88 radio.
All right, thanks for that hustle. Sorry, new helmet doesn't work.
It's all good. You're all set now. You were top 4 car that whole time. You're going to go wear their ass out now.
New helmet doesn't work. Let me translate from a guy's work with Dale Jr. for nearly 20 years. The helmet he had to start the race was probably a brand new helmet. If I know a man Dale, maybe he ran it in practice. This is probably it. He loves a certain design helmet. He doesn't get very many new helmets, so it's surprising, Marty. Sounds like they've gone back to Old Faithful, coming back down, window net down, some more work on the 88.
So a new wiring harness is what they're going to put in here, Steve. Andrew Overstreet said we can do it in about 10 seconds if you want to come down pit road. Dale Jr. took the window net down himself, so they're going to be coming green here pretty quick. We'll see if they can get all this done in time so Junior doesn't lose a lap.
So now I take that back. So now I guess he's saying the new helmet they handed him didn't resolve the issue if they're going back in the window. The problem is the field's coming to green. Now he'll be okay if he only loses 1 lap, but if you go 2 laps down, it becomes a real big issue. They're plugging it in right now.
Currently, there are 26 cars on the lead lap. This was a pretty long caution as well. There was a lot of cleanup that had to take place. You see the 88 coming off of his pit stall and will be back out on the track, which he's, oh, are the lights coming back on? They are. So they're not going to restart now. So they're going to go at least another lap. And while they're doing that, let's go back to Progressive Pit Road. Kim.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Anthony Alfredo in the 5 car, currently running in the 2nd position after qualifying 3rd. This is a great effort from a very small team. They have limited resources, and a qualifying effort like 3rd is a win for the team. Currently, Anthony just saying really bad brake shake, good on entry to center, fired off okay but getting tight. They had a good practice session. I talked with the team and they said they were a little free but made no adjustments coming into the race because they thought the racetrack would tighten up throughout the course of the evening.
So now it's Chandler Smith and Anthony Alfredo that make up row number 1. Lights are off once again. That indicates that we will get the green flag here. They're coming back, and we'll keep you updated as to if that wiring harness worked for Dale Jr. as he's back out on the racetrack. He did not go a lap down. Pace car is off. And now coming up on 20 laps to go. It's stage 1 for Bristol. Chandler Smith fired off great. Here comes Jesse Love as well in the 2. He's moved up to 2nd. Anthony Alfredo not as good on the restart. Has fallen back to 3rd. And here comes A.J. Allmendinger, and that's 16 running the higher line. Still sparks coming out when he goes through the turn.
Yeah, shocking. You would think the air pressure would be built up in the tire, kind of reducing that bottoming out, but not the case for the 16. That white and black car right there left of your screen. Still sparking.
Continue to see the sparks. And here's 3 wide. Sam Mayer in the 1 has just been able to clear that 44 of Brennan Poole.
That 7 of Allgaier, that bright red car, losing the bumper cover is actually beneficial aerodynamically. This car is going to have more downforce. That's why it is required at the bigger racetracks. NASCAR classifies Bristol as a short track because of its half-mile in length. For that reason, the tail not required. So as long as the right rear quarter panel is repaired, which looks like they've done a pretty nice job, this car could actually be better than new.
So and it's an advantage,
yes,
aerodynamically, but a disadvantage because he had to restart back as far as he did.
How about Cole Custer? He started back there with Dale Jr. Of course, Dale Jr.'s had to keep coming back, working on the helmet. Cole Custer on this restart, he jumped to the outside, picked up 7 spots, making it 3 wide, 2 wide, all kinds of aggressive moves. Kill him.
Yeah, and Cole Custer, this is a great track for the team. So despite that early incident with the wall where he had a right front flat, picking his way through the field, does have newer tires than the rest of the field. So perhaps that is part of it. But right now, just saying he's loose up top, tight on the bottom, Marty.
So, Kim, to Steve's point, maybe that's why Justin Allgaier said, I promise you guys, we're going to drive through the field. This is the 4th car, and now maybe the 5th car that he's passed since this restart for Justin Allgaier. And by the way, Rick, yes, the 4th time is the charm for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Finally, we're only 72 laps in and the radio works.
Well, I'm sure that was frustrating, but he's on the lead lap, so we'll see how well the 88 and Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr. can do. He's running 26th right now. He's at the back of the pack, and there's only 12 laps to go, but a close call here. Look at this. Little contact there. So Leland Honeyman in the 42.
Well, that's the problem of having to go to the back, right? Is you're behind everything that's happening on track.
That was a product there of the 07 of Greg Van Alst, who went up the racetrack, slowed down. The 42 had to avoid. Under 10 laps to go now in stage 1. Allgaier now trying to go by Austin Hill in the 21. He sets his sights on teammate Sam Mayer in the 1. And a fight for 3rd here. Sheldon Creed in the 18, trying to get to the inside of the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger.
AJ's really loose. The back of his car is not planted in the racetrack on corner exit.
Door to door, under 8 to go in stage 1. Allmendinger running that higher line. Creed staying low. Creed earned his 12th second place finish a week ago at Watkins Glen. So he has been knocking on the door consistently as Anthony Alfredo runs that low line in the 5. Bottom of the screen, currently 19th. You see the 7 of Allgaier, who was leading when he got clipped, and the tail had to be cut off of that 7.
How about this battle at the top of the screen? An 18 car crossover on AJ. AJ caught him too slow in the center of the corner, passing back.
And Alfredo's making it a 3-car mix here as he looked to the inside of Creed. Under 4 laps to go. Chandler Smith has a 2.3 second advantage right now over Jesse Love up front.
Jeremy Clements having a really strong night.
Jeremy in the 51 as he's running currently in the 7th position. And now under 3 laps to go for Chandler Smith. At the end of each stage, the top 10 will earn stage points, and the winner of the stage gets a playoff point. That playoff point gets to be carried into the playoffs each round. And so Chandler Smith's trying to grab another one of those playoff points with a win here in this stage. 1 lap to go. And Chandler Smith, after the restart, he just pulled away from the field. 2.2 seconds the gap right now over Jesse Love. And he comes through 3 and 4. And it is Chandler Smith. That is his 6th stage win of the season, the second most behind Allgaier.
All evening long, got really tight on that most recent run. They'll make an air pressure adjustment to help free him up on the corner entry. 4 tires and fuel for him, Kim.
As you see Sheldon Creed in the center, he said, good in the center of the corner. It's turning way better, but their struggle is power down off the corner. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. AJ Allmendinger at the bottom, you see that chassis adjustment. Again, he fired off way too free. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, fuel for him. As we go to the other side of the racetrack, the 5 of Anthony Alfredo, top of your screen. He was reporting, again, a brake shake, but he said good entry to center, fired off okay, but getting a little bit tight. And then Chandler Smith, that stage 1 winner in the middle there in the 81. He was reporting that he's free off the wall, needs more drive-off, Marty.
Second in the stage for Jesse Love, who had never seen Bristol before today. He said, you're going to have to free me up. I'm losing time on exit. So they go up on the track bar for Jesse Love. He said, I can also see that the track is changing. And Sheldon Creed, how about that stop by that 18 bunch? They gained 2 spots here on pit road, Rick.
And we saw the race off progressive pit road. Creed gaining a couple. Ryan Truex, 6 spots on. Dale Jr. found TJ Majors up in the Northeast, and they were racing online, and he actually got him started racing with Junior Motorsports, and then the relationship built into where TJ had spotted for Junior for quite some years.
So all of that panic we saw with the radio issues, and now the track position's been gained. But a lot of new tires coming from behind. See how much they matter. 18 car Sheldon Creed, he is in a fierce battle.
Way up the racetrack he goes. You've got Cole Custer right behind him. Chandler Smith as well in that mix. Creed up to 6th now with the freshest tires. Dale Jr. now working on Ryan Sieg Jr. in the 88, Sieg in that 39 as we ride on board with the Toyota on board of Chandler Smith. He has a front row seat, and an issue now for Matt DiBenedetto in the 38, slow on the racetrack up high.
Clear down. Just lost power. Just died.
Lost power, he says, in the 38, so they'll bring it to the crew. But like we said, laps so quick here. The 88 is going to be 3 wide here off the corner. 00 on the bottom, 81 up top, still under attack.
And now he's surrounded by all of these cars that have better tires.
Riley Herbst in the 98. That Monster Energy logo on the hood. Cole Custer in the 00. Again, the front tire right front going down on that 00, and he has bounced back nicely. Currently running in the 6th position, fighting Creed for 5th. And just that quickly, already 27 of the 85 laps in stage 2 have been completed.
Yeah, but one of the challenges for that 00, you mentioned those flat right side tires. Well, you only have 3 sets. So one set, you only got 6 laps out of. So we'll have to just see if that hurts the 00 later in the race.
And Custer inside that top 5. He's running 4th now. Brandon Jones in front of him. These two, Sieg and Creed, continue to fight for a spot. Here comes Chandler Smith now. Are either of you surprised that we're seeing 2 and 3 wide racing here at Bristol this early?
I'm not. There's always a question about when the bottom will go away, when the top will go in. Well, the Cup Series practice earlier today, they were all the way to the wall. That's not normal. It normally takes more laps. What I love is when Bristol looks like this. It's multiple options. You can run the bottom. Good cars can run the top. The question I have is, will the bottom go away? Will the leaders be forced and migrate to the top and the top be dominant? That's when we're going to see some of those kind of pushes and shoves to kind of move a guy out of the preferred lane. I'm also not surprised to see the 7 of Allgaier running the 1 back down. Allgaier is so fast at this racetrack. I know he has a little damage. I don't think it's hurting. If anything, it might be helping the 7 car. And he's doing a nice job working through traffic, and now got the leader, what, within a half second, Jeff?
Within a half second, and he's looking for potentially a stage win. It would be his 15th. He is definitely leading all drivers in that category. caution has come out, and it was a wild ride for the 34-year-old out of Westport, Connecticut. Parker Kligerman, take a look at this.
Yeah, we don't know what happened down the back straightaway, but I don't know how this wasn't a massive wreck. NASCAR thought it was going to be one as well, and they threw the caution, but I'm not sure he ever hit anything.
And he's radioed back to his team, I don't think I have flat spots on my tires.
I mean, that was impressive.
They're going to change them anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dylan.
Yeah, exactly right. So it was miraculous somehow that he didn't seem to have any damage to those tires, but Patrick Donahue making the call. Come down, we may as well be careful here and put 4 fresh ones on for you.
He'll roll around pit road to come back off of pit road and onto the racetrack. But that was the 4th caution already here at Bristol, and that means a restart with under 47 laps to go.
And I think this is an advantage for those guys that have a little bit older tires. The heat cycle will kind of equalize the tires that were fresher, that were coming. The negative is they're closer to you, right? The field's bunched up. But I really think that this caution, cooling all the tires down, they should fire off. I still think advantages to Custer. In this situation, like I mentioned, he might be short on tires, which might come into play later. Creed as well, Chandler Smith, those guys that have a little fresher tire. But for Allgaier, if he can kind of get out there and get clear, this would be pretty good.
All right, let's take a look at the Xfinity fastest lap here at Bristol. And it goes to Chandler Smith on lap 69. Turned a lap of 16.156 seconds, averaging around this half mile 118 miles an hour. Kim.
And currently Chandler Smith in that 81 in the 6th position. And we know race car drivers are always looking for more. Despite the good run he's having tonight, needs a little bit help through the middle. He said up top the car just feels rigid. The change they made last stop helped with his drive off issues, but made him tight in 3 and 4, Dylan. So the next time they're on pit road, they will look for more adjustments.
Brandon Jones has flipped the first stage, and it's got him some track position. He rides in the 3rd spot right now. Crew chief Adam Wall said that was going to be on their radar of things they had to do. They know as a car that has to win to make it to the playoffs, they've got to be on the aggressive side of strategy. That's not always a bad thing, Marty. Sometimes it simplifies it for you.
When I talked to Matt Noyce, the crew chief for Ryan Sieg this afternoon, Dylan, he told me, listen, I think Bristol has quietly become one of our better racetracks. They have back-to-back top 10s here. And like the 9 car you just talked about, Dylan, give them some credit for at least trying something, Steve. They flipped the strategy 2 at the end of stage 1, but now they're paying for it with the older tires, said the car's just way too free.
Well, you see the points on the left. They're the first car below the red line. They came in that way. The 39 of Ryan Sieg, they still sit that way. That's some of the aggression. Now, remember, look down in 14th. Jones in the 9 car. Minus 132. You cannot make up that many points, but a win and you're in. So for the 9 of Brandon Jones, it's all on the line. It's victory lane, or he will not be racing for a championship starting next week.
Brandon Jones, we see him on the inside of Sam Mayer. So he took the inside line, and that means Allgaier will be on the outside of row 2 with Sheldon Creed on the inside of that 2nd row.
Tells you how dominant Allgaier thinks the top is.
Back on the gas, Brandon Jones doesn't get on the gas quickly, and he bottlenecks the front of the field as Creed goes to his outside, makes it 3 wide for 3rd. Sam Mayer with the lead, then the 0-0 of Cole Custer back there in 3rd. Brandon Jones has fallen back to 4th, now 5th, as Creed is going to be able to pass him on the outside. And here comes the 81 of Chandler Smith as well.
This 0-0 car has been really impressive. Drove up through the field into 2nd place, battling Allgaier for.
Now those two were dominant a year ago. Cole Custer led 109 laps in this race, and Allgaier ended up winning the race. Some late race strategy to put on fresher tires toward the end.
You can see what happens right here. Chandler Smith, he's watching that 0-0 car. He's going to probably just run the top and hope that they kind of pin him down there. If he can't clear the 7, then the 18 of Creed, the 81 of Chandler Smith, they will try to get by him as well. That's the danger in trying to go to the bottom and make a pass. If it doesn't work, you can lose a lot of spots.
Shorter distance on the bottom, more banking on the top of this racetrack.
Yeah, you see what happens in the center of the corner, the 00, every time will make up space. See right here? Faster through the middle, but then on corner exit, the guys on the outside, they don't have to turn the steering wheel as much. They can go to the throttle a little bit quicker. And it just builds so much speed down the straight. Chandler Smith, he's just lap by lap, inch by inch, gaining on the 00. He's hoping that 7 car doesn't have a misstep and allow the 00 to get by him.
They click off laps so fast here at Bristol. Way up the racetrack goes to 7. There was that misstep. But Cole Custer not able to capitalize on it. And Allgaier surging back in front, but that little mishap by the 7 backed Creed up enough that there was an opening.
Oh, the 7 to the bottom.
I'm shocked at that. He was making good time and relatively comfortably protecting the 00, goes to the bottom, and the 00 says thank you as he rolls the top. He's going to clear the 7 on quarter exit.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll give you the top.
Custer to second. Creed running that high line as well as he tries to clear the 81. He will. So Chandler Smith will fall back to 5th.
Yeah, the 7 needs to be careful. The top line has become dominant. If he continues to go to the bottom, I think the 18's got to get to his quarter panel on one of these corner exits. That's all it's going to take. Yeah, right here. So the 18's going to try to gas it up in the middle of the corner and not allow to have the 7 the extra track width on corner exit.
That currently is the fight for 3rd. Allgaier has it. Creed wants it. Mayer out front. He's led 44 tonight. side by side for the lead. And now Cole Custer surging ahead of Sam Mayer. Can he clear him? He does. And Custer leads at Bristol.
He leads at the moment, but the one still trying to hold up the top lane, can't do it. The 00 is clear. The 18 of Creed frustrated now. He's going to try to get to the outside of the one.
And here comes that 7. Once again, Allgaier trying to fight back.
Oh, contact. The 18 hits the rear bumper, the one on corner exit. An amazing save. Whoa.
Oh, and then around goes the 7. The 7 noses into the wall, and the caution comes out.
That all started contact with the 18 into the 1, stacked them all up, and then they tried to go 3 wide on corner exit. The 7 thought they were 2 wide. The replay really is about a lap earlier where the stack up begins.
And we see the sparks from underneath the 7. Here's that replay.
So right here, the 18 catches the 1 on corner entry. The 1 is loose. Now he's gaining it. He has no speed. The 18 thinks he's going to go 3 wide middle, and the 7 thinks he's 2 wide bottom.
There you go. So Allgaier in that 7 car, he is not expecting the 18 to not be all the way up the racetrack. Contact there, right? So here comes the 7. Here comes the 18 trying to turn underneath the 1, and there's contact. And Allgaier just had no concept that the 18 wasn't going to be against the wall.
And if I'm spawning the 7, I probably have no idea as well, because while the 18 turns down the hill, look, he's not really inside the 1, right? I mean, he has every right to run off the wall a little bit, but the 18, look, I don't think it's on purpose. He didn't turn left to hit the 7, but he was trying to protect that middle lane, thinking he was going to drive 3 wide middle at the end of the straightaway, and the 7 thought he had real estate. The 7 of Allgaier is obviously going to be frustrated. Let's listen.
Hit pretty hard at the end of the front stretch, or back stretch.
Yeah, I saw it.
Was that my fault?
I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's just fix the damage.
So, look, Allgaier says, was that my fault? I mean, he's even wondering, what did that look like from outside the car?
It's racing. I don't know that
That's
it's
Bristol.
really anyone's fault. I think Sheldon Creed, he saw the 1 of Mayer having a little bit of trouble on the very top of 2, and he's trying to turn underneath them. And then the 7 just doesn't realize that he's trying to turn. It's just racing at Bristol.
And all of these drivers are now going to pit with only 15 to go at this stage. Will somebody do something else and try to gain some track position?
Let's go down to the progressive pit road and Dylan.
Brandon Jones, top of the screen, just said he fired off and felt like he was on top of the racetrack. Then the car leveled off. He got a little bit tight. 4 tires and fuel for him. Sam Mayer, 4 tires and fuel as well, Kim.
As you see Sheldon Creed at the bottom, he said, I cannot roll the center like I want to. It's just too tight. He feels like he's spinning his tires, wrapping the corner. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, air pressure adjustment. As we go on to the other side of pit road, 00 of Cole Custer. There was a lot of debate on whether or not to bring him down to pit road. Ultimately, they did. He said just loose up top, tight on the bottom. Chandler Smith in the middle there. Rigid on the top lane. He said his drive-off is better, Marty, but still tight in 3 and 4.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said his car just needs more overall grip, and he asked about Justin Allgaier, the car he owns. He saw that contact and wanted to know how the 7 fared in that. For Justin Allgaier, they have a lot of damage, and Allgaier, before the radio transmission you heard a moment ago, said, you've got to be kidding me. The splitter is 4 inches down on the right side, so a lot of damage here for the 7 car, and this really could have a big effect in the regular season championship.
Yeah, coming in, he had a 43-point advantage over Cole Custer in the regular season championship. And you see the race off progressive pit road, and the position changes. Custer, Mayer, they're able to hold their positions. And you see now, and that's going to be equipment leaving the box. They didn't know about it, but
leaving the box, we're going to.
This is going to be a problem too.
Yeah. So yeah, he took it.
He was trying to beat the pace car out.
Flat. Stay on the flat. Stay on the flat.
Free tools.
Reciprocating saw didn't make it up into the green.
That's an advertisement. If that thing still works.
Oh yeah. After it was run over.
Yeah, you can see the damage on this car, Marty.
He took the Sawzall and he ran over the block. I was trying to say, yeah, he took one. Now the team has had to find another Sawzall to be able to get this this splitter issue fixed for Justin Allgaier. And Jim Pullman was screaming at the team, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. They couldn't move quick enough, so he actually ran over the block, Steve, that they were trying to fix that splitter with.
Yeah, so basically they're going to jack the car up, put a block under it, drop it, try to bend the splitter back up. He takes this tool out of the pit, so this will be a penalty, as you pointed out, Rick, for removing equipment.
Will they give that back to him?
I'm telling you, that like
well, AMR safety crew is going to find it on the track. They'll, I'm sure, take it back to the 17.
Rick has a workshop. Rick has a workshop at home. He's already calling for it.
I was going to say, if they, you know, they don't give it back to the 7 and somebody wants to claim it,
you throw in the tools. All right, so as a fellow glasses wearer in my old age, I can appreciate the battle that Dale Jr. Remember all the helmet situations? Well, look, not a new helmet this time, but here's your glasses back, buddy. They were in the first helmet you gave us, so giving the driver his glasses back. I can appreciate this. Woke up about a year ago and couldn't see anything in distance. Dale Jr.'s going to probably think, I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the handling of the race car, but he's going to have better vision.
Rick put his glasses on the other day playing golf. He parred 3 in a row.
Actually, I birdied the hole. I buried the first hole when I put them on. I was like, oh,
all right,
this works.
There you go. If you're a Dale Jr. fan, keep your eyes peeled. We'll see how much more accurate he is with the spectacles.
So they continue to work on the 7 to try to get that damage where he hit the inside wall. So next Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs begin in Kansas, and top 12 drivers are going to take their first laps towards winning the championship. It's NASCAR Xfinity Series from Kansas next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, only on the CW.
I cannot wait for these playoffs to start. It has been a year in the Xfinity Series where no one seems to want to take it and say it's mine. And when these playoffs start, you don't have enough room to make mistakes. It's essentially a 3-race schedule, and you have to start and have things go your way. The Xfinity Series never disappoints. Can't wait to get it going.
And you'd say, you know, no one has really jumped out there and said this is my series and my championship to win. Allgaier is going to start the playoffs as the playoff leader. He's got a good shot of winning the regular season championship. You get a lot of playoff points for that. And so he wants to say this is his year, but he has not won a championship. The crew working diligently to get that car ready to get back out and race as the choose taking place. Sammy Smith in the 8 will be on the inside, and Jeremy Clements in the 51 is going to be on the outside for this restart. This, the Sawzall is going to go back.
We're going to need an update from Marty on the condition.
We'll just see if, if it works.
I'm on it, Steve. I'm walking towards it right now. I'll give you an update in a moment.
Should have got Junior to sign it and keep it.
The tires going back on the 7. Speaking of, all of the drivers wearing gloves, charity taking place as we get ready for the restart. I'll talk about that with Junior signing those gloves. The 7 back up to speed, trying to catch the field.
So you see the points on the bottom left, why this matters, the 51 or the 8. That would be a brand new winner, right? So that changes. The 51 leading the race. He's now in 11th in points because you win and you advance. That's just how quickly it can move as you see the 7 sparking.
Yeah, they'll have to work on that 7 at the end of this stage. Only 8 to go. Coming up on 7 as here comes the 48 of Parker Kligerman to the inside. A.J. Allmendinger in the 16. Pretty close to the 88 of Dale Jr. We just saw Cole Custer get into the wall there.
Parker Kligerman came up the racetrack, got the 00 of Custer in the wall.
Brandon Jones now to the inside of Kligerman for the lead.
Brandon Jones pitted on lap 156. Kligerman 123, the leader of the race. Jeremy Clemens pitted all the way back on lap 90.
Yeah, that's for second right here. Jones and Kligerman. Clements has already put a second on them. That's why he was off screen. Take a look at the 48 moving the 00 up the racetrack.
Really loose, trying to save the race car and just got into the 00 of Custer.
Side by side for second. Jones on the inside in the 9. Kligerman on the outside with the 48.
And the 00 and the 18, their patience are quickly running out. They keep trying to peek 3 wide middle. There we go. The 00 is going to take that spot, try to get between the 48 and the 9. We saw how that worked with the 7.
7 way off the pace. We saw him go down to the apron as the pack was going by him.
It's almost the opposite of most racetracks. There's more room for 3-car in the corner. 3 wide in the corner works. It's 3 wide on the straightaway that it gets very tight as we see the 9 back up in the middle.
That was a great opportunity for the 48 in the wall.
00.
Yeah, it might have had a little help from the 00.
He probably had it coming. After the 48 ran the 00 up, Cole Custer's like, I'm going to return the medicine right here. Didn't wreck him, but definitely moved him out of the way.
Brandon Jones in that 9 car, he had a great opportunity to get track position and be leading this race when this stage ended, but he just couldn't make it happen, and now falling to the field.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in the 10th position, right along with the Hellmans on board. And out of 4, Jeremy Clements is going to win stage 2 here at Bristol. Handily.
That is a great stage win for a small race team, taking on teams with many more resources than they have.
Clements currently 21st in the point standings, but wins stage 2. Coming up next, it's a battle of the undefeated teams in Pullman. Yeah, that's the Coug Walk taking place here for Washington State as they're heading into Martin Stadium. It's San Jose State versus Washington State. That's coming up next, only on the CW.
Washington State, 13.5-point, nearly 2 touchdown favorites. I think this game's going to be closer than that.
You're calling it?
Well, my emotion says it's going to be closer. Deep down, I'd love to see Washington State win by 2 touchdowns.
Deep down.
Deep down.
We have the caution out. Again, stage 2 is complete. By the way, that was the first career stage win for Jeremy Clements. And he'll come to pit road now.
Those can be moments, too. Moments for partners on the hood. Moments for your race team to get that stage win. The sport can kind of kick you in the teeth a lot, Jeff. That, you know, you got to find those highlights during the year.
Get your wins when you can, Dylan.
Parker Kligerman is headed to pit road. He has been really loose the last couple of runs, so they are swinging for the fences. Air pressure, wedge adjustment, and a track bar adjustment for the 48, in addition to 4 tires and fuel for Kligerman.
And the crew congratulating Jeremy Clements on that stage win as he makes his way along pit road. He just said the balance was fine, a little free, loses front turn as they run. The water temp, though, was up, so they will put tape off the front of that race car as they put Goodyear tires and make that chassis adjustment on his car. You see the 8 of Sammy Smith. He plummeted during that stage. He said, I'm too free on short runs. I have no front grip, no rear grip, just 0 grip. So this team is going to take a big swing at this race car for the final stage. Marty.
His teammate Justin Allgaier still has some damage to fix. They're still dragging the right front, so you're going to see them take a jack here to the right front and try and get that splitter fixed. And by the way, the question of the night that everybody wants to know, does the Sawzall that he drug halfway around the racetrack still works? Here we go. Yes, it does. Now, half of it doesn't exist on this side where he drug it off. But, Steve, there's the answer to your question. It does indeed work.
Just wear a glove with your left hand, Rick. We'll get that for your shop at home.
Marty, use it at your farm. Just take it.
Yeah, I'll take it to my farm. We'll use it.
With the completion of the second stage and the points that were gained, Parker Kligerman is now locked into the playoffs on points. So he will race for a championship starting next week. And again, a reminder, there will be 12 drivers fighting for a title, but all 38 will continue to race on a weekly basis all the way through the end of the season. Let's listen in to Parker's radio.
They're saying we're locked in. Okay, bud, you're locked in after all these stage points, all right? Good job. Let's go race.
Let's go.
I was trying to run the math here, and then it popped up on the TV.
So
wait a minute,
celebration.
they trust us?
They believe in us.
Apparently they do, which is a good thing.
Well, I tell you, that what a great feeling for a race team. You know, that was their goal coming into this year, is make the playoffs. Clearly they wanted to win races, but making the playoffs with this team is a big step forward for them. And now they get to race the rest of this race as free and as fun as you'll ever have. No pressure, just go make something happen.
Field bottled up once again, going down the back stretch 2 by 2 as we get ready for the restart. It'll be 121 laps remaining in this race from Bristol. Sheldon Creed on the inside, Cole Custer on the outside. Custer has the advantage. Creed running second. Ryan Truex in the 20 is third.
All these teams can make it all the way to the finish on fuel. Most to put on their last set of tires.
Custer got very loose in the middle of 1 and 2. Creed taking advantage of it.
They're both sliding off 4, Rick.
Custer still having some handling issues with that 00 running in the 2nd spot now. Jesse Love in the 2 all the way at the bottom of the racetrack. But now it's Sheldon Creed who's out front. You mentioned it, Steve. They can go all the way to the end if we were caution free. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, and the 00s put on their last set of tires. Other cars like the 81, the 2, they have another set of tires. The question is, are tires worth pitting if we have a yellow halfway through the stage? We'll have to wait and see where this ends up. Ryan Truex in the 20 around the bottom. A lot of drivers and a lot of teams had Ryan Truex as one of the favorites coming into here just because of his win at Dover. Dover, a 1-mile concrete track, similar to Bristol. I mean, there's not a lot of concrete tracks, so they kind of get bunched together.
Jesse Love trying to get underneath the 81 car. Just not enough room. Chandler Smith, that's just Bristol racing. They worked it out.
You didn't say that when you were out there.
Yeah, for now they've worked it out.
If I was driving it too, I would have said it.
Yeah.
Memories are long as we see the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Steve, you mentioned you've been following the radio with that team. Might be another issue with the radio.
Yeah, he told his team that he had dropped the radio somewhere in the rocker panel and the volume got turned up. So he told TJ he had to be a little bit softer on his spotting. I just had to laugh.
And right on his outside is the 98 of Riley Herbst, Dylan.
Yeah, he's done a nice job from 15th starting position, running 6th right now, and running that high line pretty effectively. That was a challenge and an anticipated struggle for this team this weekend. Riley spent time as recently as between qualifying and the race studying data, how he could run the top side better. Recent feedback from Davin Restiva, the crew chief, to Riley. Try and carry more speed on corner entry to the center. That's where your teammate Cole Custer is beating you and a couple others as well, Marty.
So, Dylan, I'm keeping up with the count I never thought I'd keep up with for Dale Earnhardt Jr. We have 2 radios, 2 helmets, 2 wiring harnesses, 1 pair of glasses, and Steve, it's still not fixed. Yes, he asked TJ Majors, hey, I can't reach the volume button now. It's too loud now in my ear. Can you talk quieter? How do you talk quieter at Bristol, the loudest racetrack, Steve?
Well, this is going to be a shock, but I'm not really the one you want to talk to about talking quieter or less or slower. So I don't have any advice for that.
This has been an adventure for the 88 team and Dale Jr. as we see Chandler Smith in the 81 trying to take that spot away from the 20 of Ryan Truex.
Joe Gibbs Racing 1st, 3rd, and 4th currently. So good with the Cup cars in practice and qualifying. Here they are, very good in the Xfinity cars. So JGR showing that they have Bristol figured out.
Yeah, that's teammates fighting for a position here. Ryan Truex, he doesn't run the full season, but has had great success when he's been behind the wheel of the 20.
Yeah, he's done a great job and also helps Joe Gibbs Racing during the week. Simulator driver. And I think it's so important, you know, to have a guy like that also running races because, you know, racing a computer versus real life can be 2 different things. And I think that practical experience makes the assistance he gives the team even that much more valuable.
Jesse Love is working to the inside now of Ryan Truex. We're talking a little bit about Joe Gibbs Racing. Let's take a look at the Toyota driver update with Sheldon Creed out in front. Chandler Smith running 3rd. Truex fighting for that 4th spot. Jeffrey Earnhardt in 12th and Joe Graf Jr. in 14th.
And now this is that time in the race, nearing 100 to go. The top, in my opinion, has become the dominant line. Whose car drives the best up there? Because it's going to drive a little bit different. What driver has the most comfort to run up against the fence?
How about the guy out front right now driving the 18? That's Sheldon Creed. He has 96 career starts, counting this one, and 12 of those starts have ended up with a 2nd place finish, but he has yet to find victory lane.
I like his attitude, though. He's not frustrated. When you talk to him about it, he goes, yes, I want to win, but 2nd is good. I'm not going to be mad about finishing 2nd. Some of those I think sting more when you think you have a chance to win. Other times he's kind of found his way to 2nd.
The gap is closing now as Cole Custer in that 00 is trying a little bit different line than what we're seeing out of Sheldon Creed, and he's closed it within a car length now.
Yeah, I think, Steve, is exactly, whoa!
7th around, and the right rear tire goes down, and the caution comes out again. Marty, what's going on? Why do we have this caution?
Rick, they never got the damage fixed for Justin Allgaier, and he was just hanging on. He was 3 seconds off the pace, had just gone down 3 laps. And if you look at the regular season championship standings, this is the night where all will be decided. And right now, Cole Custer is only 2 points behind Justin Allgaier, who is watching this regular season title slip away. They just cannot get this car fixed for Justin Allgaier. Meanwhile, Cole Custer is running second, so it all could be falling apart right here in the final few laps at Bristol for the regular season championship for Justin Allgaier.
Steve, I think that one thing that is vital in these situations is don't get caught up in the points. You have to get the car fixed correctly. If you don't, and you spin and make contact, expose the driver to potential injury, etc., with a broken car, you just have to take the time to fix it correctly.
And you see just out of control. Finally, the right rear tire goes down. I don't know. I think it was soft, and then that last big explosion you see is probably the inner liner.
So Allgaier came in with a 43-point advantage over Cole Custer for that regular season championship. As Marty mentioned, Cole Custer gained 13 points through the stages and now is just 2 points back for that regular season title.
And this team's already 4 laps down. So the only thing you're doing now is hoping other people have trouble. So what you got to do is not have any more trouble yourself. And you just got to take the time, and it'll be what it'll be. If you don't get it fixed in time to lose a couple more laps or not lose a couple more laps, then it is what it is. But you just fix it right. There's a championship to go win, and you do not need to do it and put your driver in danger of being in an accident and getting hurt.
It's the 7th caution that's come out. That means the Whelen caution lights come back on. Whelen, again, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders. Seven cautions, and I'm guessing it's not going to be the last of the 7.
Riley Herbst decides to come down and see if the last set of Goodyear tires will be the answer, Dylan.
Yeah, and that's what he's hoping for. The frustration evident on the radio. Riley just said, everything is so bound up. I feel like I can feel every single bump on this racetrack. So was struggling late in that run. Said he felt like he burned the front tires off here. They're going to make a couple changes to try to make the 98 a little better.
7 leaving pit road, as is the 98. And so the caution came out for this. The 7 spinning and the tire going down. CW Game Night starts Thursday, October 3rd, first at 8 p.m. Eastern. Raven Simone hosts the classic crossword game Scrabble. followed at 9 p.m. by Trivial Pursuit, hosted by LeVar Burton. It's game night, and it's only on the CW.
That sounds like a good time. You any good at Trivial Pursuit?
I can spell a few things. I don't know if Trivial Pursuit helps there, but we ride along with the State Water Heaters, number 27 of Jeff Burton, and we're hearing some issues with the 00, Kim.
No issues with the 00. The fact is they came in minus 43 points to the regular season. That has changed dramatically. They've updated their driver, Cole Custer. Here's what the team told him.
Are we good where we're at? I mean, right now, I know it's going to keep changing.
Right now, we're 2 back. We're 2 back of Allgaier. 2 points back.
Just keep me updated as we go here.
Okay. Keep them updated, just like in Scrabble, I'll spell things. Trivial Pursuit, I won't.
I thought you were going to spell your Trivial Pursuit answers. That was super impressive.
Try it. Getting ready for the restart. 94 laps to go here at Bristol. Creed and Chandler Smith making up row 1. Chandler Smith in that 81 fighting on the inside.
Go. Seems like a long ways at most racetracks, but at Bristol it can click off just so quickly.
First and second stages were 85 laps, so it's really, we're down to almost just the same length as what we started the race with in the first 2 stages. As Jesse Love, he has made a career out of running the bottom of this racetrack tonight.
Oh,
here comes the 00 for the lead.
Creed got really loose. Right in the middle of the corner.
Way up the racetrack goes Cole Custer, the crossover move. Here comes Sheldon Creed to the inside.
But Custer got the position he wanted. That was just a great move by Custer. Just overdrove the entry with speed. Had to stop to keep him hitting the wall, but had Creed even gotten next to him on the inside, Custer now had the outside position, which is what he wanted. Great pass.
The regular season championship up for grabs right now as they run. Cole Custer is 4 points in front of Allgaier.
I bet Dale Jr. down here on the bottom. Whoa, contact, was it?
It was a little bit there. I think the 88 is the best car at the top. He just doesn't have a car good enough at the bottom to make the pass. So let's ride on board. The helmet's on board, right? So when he rolls the top, watch, he runs, kind of catches the cars in front of him. Not a great corner there. I don't know if that damage on the right front fender has hurt a little bit of the front turn. That just the 88's not good enough when it goes to the bottom to finish the passes.
I gotta tell you, how impressive it is Dale Jr. can come out here. I mean, these guys, most of them race every week, and to come out here and be able to be as competitive as Dale Jr. is, it is super impressive. I know he's driving Junior Motorsports cars, and it's really good equipment, but still, I mean, he is doing a great job.
And bring your attention down here on how Dale Jr. does this.
Each driver is
well. Dale knows he has to find a way around this 20. Easier said than done. Oh, now they go both. Now Dale wishes he would have ran the top. The 20 goes to the bottom. We'll see if the 20 goes to the bottom again in 1 and 2. I would be shocked. I would not want to give Dale Jr. the top behind you. He should be able to roll to your outside. There you go. Now Dale's going to run the top. See if he gains on the 20 down the straightaway. 20 runs pretty good around the bottom.
He did close the gap there, but the 20 drifts back up to the top of the racetrack.
Talking about Dale Jr. doing this and not running on a regular basis. Well, so is Truex in that 20 car. He runs a very limited schedule. So to be able to get into the rhythm of this race car and understand what you need out of it, racing every now and then is very difficult. See Brandon Jones jumping the outside.
Junior went to the bottom and got to the bumper of the 20. He's down there again as the 20 stays up high.
And this whole race, as we see 76 to go, is really going to come down, in my mind, of who works traffic the best. Custer leads about a second over Creed, then Chandler Smith, Love, Truex in this battle between Truex and Earnhardt Jr. But you know that 00 is going to be catching the back of traffic, so you're not going to just be able to run just the top or just the bottom. You're going to have to be able to go top to bottom, and you got to find your rhythm, Jeff, in just one corner.
Yeah, and hope you guess right. I mean, the only thing you ask of the lap cars as you catch them is to stay in one line. Pick a lane and stay in it, let me work myself around you, don't change lanes. Couldn't take advantage of it, but now the 9 is right there.
I like when the 88 runs that high exit, like the real high exit, doesn't turn off the wall. You know, see right there, they're pretty similar. Off from turn 4, it seems like the 20 turns off the wall, the 88 stays high, kind of like the 3/4 mark. Right about here in the corner, that time the 20 stayed up as well.
So many things happening, and again, laps clicking off at under 17 seconds a lap. Marty,
we're at the entrance of turn 1, and you can hear me because my mic is right on my mouth, but when I move it an inch away, it's so loud here under Bristol Motor Speedway. So Steve, how difficult is it to communicate on top of the pit box? And imagine tomorrow night for the Cup Series race, those cars are way louder than it is tonight here for the Xfinity Series.
It's like going into a hostile arena to play football, right? You're down on the goal line trying to get the calls in, and your team can't hear you. That's what happens here. You can usually talk to your driver, because as Marty pointed out, your mic is right there, but your crew members, not all of them have intercom or private channels. Sticky notes, Rick. Talked about spelling. My spelling wasn't very good, but I could write a note on a sticky note shorthand pretty quick.
under 68 laps to go. The last great Coliseum. Cole Custer out in front. .58 laps remaining and Cole Custer still out front. But coming up next, it's San Jose State at Washington State. There is Washington State's gunslinger, quarterback John Mateer, who has 11.
probably costing me a spot or two, but I'm thrilled. Come out here, be competitive. Man, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to be competitive. I can come out here for another 20 years, but, you know, eventually these young kids, they just get to be so good. So it's fun to be able to run with them tonight.
So to that point, you told the guys on the radio, we'll do this again in a few years. So this might not be the last one?
No, I mean, the thing is like I've been doing this with Hellman's and Unilever, great partner. Been doing this, well, I'll run one race and they'll do about, you know, 6 or 8 races on the 7. Next year they said, hey, you know, we're going to do the races, don't need you to run. I said, man, I just might set out intentionally. I got to work on my broadcasting, new partners and all that, so I want to be great. Been missing you guys at NBC and didn't, you know, the CW and all that, so I feel like I need to really focus on that. That's really the priority, so I want to do well in the booth, and maybe I'll get back in this thing. I'm sure I'll miss it and probably end up signing up for something in 26.
Hey, so real quick, how cool was it that SVG came up to you immediately and just wanted to shake your hands because he got to race with you? Same for Ryan Truex.
I'm going to tell you, I went to Australia 20 years ago. Met some great people there. Mark Zambrose took care of us, Paul Morris. And ever since SVG's been over here, Paul Morris has been texting me all kinds of stuff about him and how excited they are. And we just love it when those guys come over here and race with us. And I've never been to New Zealand. I'd love to go, and told him, I said, if I go to New Zealand, man, I'm coming to stay with you. So maybe that'll happen one day. Me and the Truexes, we're very close. Ryan, great kid. I've been pulling for him. He drove for us at one point. Truex and me like brothers. So I knew Truex was watching. I was trying to beat his brother because I knew Truex was pulling for little Ryan to beat me there at the end. So I was trying to get around him, but I couldn't do it.
Jim, if you can't tell, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a lot of fun here tonight at Bristol. Beer is coming up, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell. His driver can, too. Sammy Smith was like, man, he's talking a lot. Sammy, you finished 15th, but more importantly, you're in the playoffs, the last driver in on points. What kind of battle was it out there for you tonight?
Yeah, it's been a real grind the last couple of months. Just kind of struggled here and there. We've hit it a couple times, but that was one of those nights again. Just really struggled, and I just feel like we gotta dig deep and figure something out. Obviously, it's cool to make the playoffs. Just thanks to my sponsors, Pilot Flying J, TMC, All-State Peterbilt Group, Golden Harvest, Render Group for sticking with us, and we just got to keep getting better.
Getting better. How do you reset and find the momentum you need as the playoffs start next week at Kansas?
I mean, I think, yeah, it's kind of like a reset, but at the same time, we just got to run better, and I think that's really the end goal. And if we're going to continue to make it to Phoenix, we gotta strive to make some bigger strides. So hopefully we can do that and make it through the next couple rounds.
Sammy Smith will get to run for a title this season, Dylan.
So will Sheldon Creed, another second-place finish for him today, back-to-back weeks as a runner-up. But what more did you need tonight to contend with the 0-0?
Yeah, I mean, probably just not slip up there when I did have the lead. I did the exact same thing he did in front of me the restart before, and it was just really easy to get loose there early in the run. So that probably costed me, and then, I don't know, I went pretty hard middle of the run trying to get back to him and just got myself really tight, and then I was trying everything at the end, bouncing it off the wall, trying to run the middle, stay out of the rubber, just anything I could do to get closer to him and try to fight my way through lap traffic. I was kind of forcing lappers to live when I was sliding them, but yeah, proud of everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota, friends of Jacqueline. We've been really consistent, which has been great. I don't even care about how many seconds I have at this point. It's still cool to run good every week, so I'm loving that part of it. I'm going to go have a beer with Dale here.
Before you go, let me ask you this. With the playoffs looming now next week, what is on this team's checklist to take the next step to get to victory lane when it counts?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I'll be surprised if we don't win for how good we've been lately and to be able to run with the 0-0 that many laps. So, yeah, I don't know. We're going to go and keep the same mindset these next few weeks, try to get through this first round. But, yeah, definitely I think we need to win one and yeah, try to get ourselves to the Final Four and fight for a championship.
All right, crowd's growing behind you. Go get that beer. Sheldon Creed finishes second today. He'll fight for a championship.
And fight and get to the cooler. As we see the playoff standings, and we're already, I know we haven't even started yet, but we're already going to put Sheldon Creed, A.J. Allmendinger, Sammy Smith, and Parker Kligerman in the bottom 4, because that's who gets eliminated after the third race of the playoff.
Welcome to sports and welcome to the playoffs. Congratulations, you've made it, and you're already currently out. But they have 3 races to get it done. And what a great variety of racetracks. A high-speed 1.5 miles at Kansas, 2.66 mile restrictor plate racing, drafting at Talladega, and then we'll head to Charlotte, the home to most of these race teams, for the road course, the Roval.
Yeah, we've seen how volatile this series is this year. We're not real sure who.
One seed. The bad news is, though, you do not win the regular season championship. I thought there was no way in the world you guys would be able to lose 43 points. What happened, and then how do you process how this night went down?
We lost 46 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just what a frustrating night. I can't say thank you enough to everybody in the Scram Professional Agriculture Camaro team. You know, we fired off the race, did all the right things. We led the beginning of the race. Really thought we had the best car in the field, and we were able to try to drive away from the 81 there, and it felt like we were doing all the right things. And then when the 32 blew the right front and kind of came back across and ripped the rear bumper cover off, that obviously changed the game for us, put us behind. But then just from there, you know, you're trying to maintain the best you can. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch replay with what happened in the 18. I felt like he came off the wall, but you know, either way, at that point, it doesn't really matter. We got what we got, and the team did a great job trying to fix the car all night. Just so damaged, and all the damage was up where it really matters. And so disappointed, frustrated, sad. I don't even know what all the emotions I've got right now are, but you know, we'll rebound. We'll go next week, and like you said, we still got the points lead. I got a great team behind me, and there's no doubt in my mind we can't go win Kansas, so that's what we're going to focus on.
And they will head to Kansas at a racetrack that's been very good for them in the past, Dylan.
Parker Kligerman is in the playoffs as well after, I think we could describe it an eventful night. Let's start with your spin down, I guess, the entire straightaway and through the corner. That was exciting.
That was wild. We had that pit infraction ever, and so we're coming back to the field, and we drove right through everyone, and then went by the 44, and he just nailed me. I mean, it bent the rear bumper, and I just got in this huge slide. I can't believe we say that it was entirely luck. Maybe an ounce of skill. I just give myself a little bit. But, you know, proud of the Spike Coors team to be out there, you know, fighting in the position we were, and to lock in early was pretty cool. I mean, I thought we were going to have pretty good stage points, stage 2, but I was loose. I was hanging on for dear life. About spun in front of the field probably 3 or 4 times. So glad we didn't do that. Heart rate was a little high. But, you know, we didn't quite have a car as fast as Xfinity Internet, but I think we're going to surprise people in this first round of the playoffs. We got 3 great tracks for us. I want to get to that first round, and then all bets are off of making the championship 4. It's the last time we're going to do this. So, you know what? I want to go as far as we can, and I think we've got the capability to do it. Tonight wasn't our cleanest night. We got that out of the way. Dylan, we're just going to focus, recalibrate, get back in the groove that we normally have, be up front. Then we do that first round, we're going to make it through.
I like the game plan. Parker Kligerman racing for a championship starting next week.
Well, he's got a smile on his face, which is good. I've got a smile on my face because we want to thank Washington State and the creamery there. They sent us some Cougar Gold, which is cheese, and it comes in a can. Now, people are asking, okay, how do you get cheese in a can?
I'm asking, so I'm ready to hear.
Well, here's the deal. It started back in the 30s, and so plastic wasn't invented by then, and they wanted to figure out a way to package it. They weren't sure if the wax sometimes would crack, and so they went with the cans, and so cheese in a can.
White cheddar cheese.
Yes. We're gonna celebrate.
We should bring some down.
Cheese
cheddar
and beer.
cheese and beer go pretty good together.
We'll be right down, Dylan.
Ryan Sieg finishes in the 8th spot today at Bristol, but unfortunately first man out of the playoffs. No, that's not what you want, but imagine there are still some positives you can take from tonight and just this whole year. What do you look back on when you reflect on this year?
Probably the hard ones, you know what I mean, go back to Texas, but there was a few races where we let some points slip, and you know what I mean, but all in all, a great year, nothing to hang our heads on. We still got some races to go win, and that's the goal, and that was our goal this year. Just we've been in shots to do it, just got to execute everything, but we've worked hard all year, so nothing to hang our heads on. We've had a fast Psyops Ford Mustang each week. Just sometimes we didn't capitalize on the points, and then other times I messed up. And but you know what I mean. All in all, we come out of here with the top 10. We just got to continue that momentum and move forward and try to win some races here at the end and continue this momentum and stuff we got going next year. So.
And this team does continue to improve, seems like every year. What is the next step? How do you guys make this performance more consistent?
Yeah, no, we got some things in the works, so we should improve next year. We have most of our same group next year, so and then we'll add a few more, and you know what I mean. The next step is probably trying to focus more on all the little things. You know what I'm saying, on our car, and that's where we're probably getting beaten a little bit. Just the little things we got to clean up, and we should be able to run with them if we can just execute everything and contend for races week in and week out. Just got to keep digging.
8th today for Ryan Sieg. He'll just try to go win some races to finish the year out.
Okay, guys, regular season's done. The 12 have been decided as far as the playoff drivers. Steve, have you got a favorite?
I don't know if you could pick a favorite. I really think that Cole Custer, the defending champ, it's been an up and down year. I think he's the most consistent. The 7 has the most speed, Jeff, but they have to clean it up if they want to contend through the playoffs.
Sheldon Creed, I think, is going to make some noise in these playoffs. I think this first round, though, with these 3 races are very difficult. You got to get through that. But I like what Sheldon Creed is doing. They're very consistent. They put themselves in position, not making mistakes. I think they can go a long way.
Can SVG get out of the first round and into that second round?
Oh, absolutely. With the Roval there, you can't bet against him.
All right. Tonight, under the lights at Bristol, it was the 00 of Cole Custer out front for 104 laps, and he will start the playoffs with a lot of momentum. He gets the big win here. College football is coming up next on the CW. It's San Jose State at Washington State.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.